Hi, Randy the Mobile Home Guy here again today. Today we're going to talk about a meter underneath of a mobile home. Often they have these meters on your main lines in order to charge for the amount of water you use. And what this is, they'll cut somewhere in that main line before it gets into the home in order to see how much of that water you're using. So the water will come out of the ground, angle over and go somewhere into the home, and they'll cut that most often time right after a shut off. And then they'll put these in here, and there'll be a little fitting on here that's going to just kind of have a swivel fitting on there, and it's going to have a little gasket there on both sides. So if you were to take this meter off, you would just want to take just loosen those and take them all the way off. Those little swivel fittings, there's going to be a gasket. It'll fall if you let it, so make sure to gather those, and then you'll be able to take the meter all the way off. So if you have a water leak and it's coming somewhere from the meter, most oftentimes, every time, we'd 100% want to check that first. It's designed for a frost plate right here. So this is the freeze plate or frost plate of this meter. So this is the weakest part of the meter here. It's designed that way. It's designed to break so that it won't break the actual brass part of the meter. So also we're going to notice that no water is ever inside of this piece here. This is just the dial of the meter. No water is ever in this black top portion here. Now sometimes we'll see some fluid in here, but that's just oil and things that are designed to keep those mechanisms there running good. One of the things we can tell on most meters, they'll have a little, they'll have this gauge right here, but also this little dial. And if that's moving, that'll tell us that actually we have water moving somewhere in the house past this, of course, at this time. So that's also a good indicator. If you've turned everything off in your home, your toilet's not dripping or running a tiny bit, and this is moving, that means you have a leak somewhere most often of the time. So check that dial if you might say, I wonder if I have a leak. Turn all the water off and check that. Also, we want to look at how this all works here. So we can see, I'm going to show you that this here piece right here actually just comes right off. And of course, no water at all in this. This is not inside of that water system. We can see actually that is actually capped right there. There's a little, most of the time there's little turning magnetic things going on there that turns the dial. And see, this is all sealed, so that's nothing comes out of that, no water or anything like that. Water is strictly inside of this valve here. So we'll put this back on. And then we're going to look at that freeze plate. So if you're having a leak in the meter, most often we are going to blame the frost plate, okay? And it's very simple to take off. This little plate here, of course, we'll need a new one because it cracks and breaks. And right inside here, there's also a little seal. So the way to get this off is just 4 little screws. So screw there, here, 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 and here. So we're going to just take those off really quick and look and see what that looks like inside. Most of the time you can resave that seal from the inside. I haven't really seen the seals go bad too often, but sometimes they will. This will just break and it'll start puffing out of there. So you can see here that this right here, and we have a little gasket right here. And we would just get the new one, of course. If we need a new gasket, we do that at this time. And we'd put that all back together. And we would just put these screws back in there, making sure they're very tight. I think this one here is a 1/2 inch socket, so sometimes those change up, sometimes they have big ones. And a lot of times this is a metal one. I think this one here is plastic, but that plate is often metal. It'll have a little cross right there, designed for a stress crack right there if it needs to happen that way. Also, we want to talk a little bit about how to heat tape the meter. Now, of course, we wouldn't need to heat tape anything up top here because there's no water in there at all. So what we'd want to do is make specific care to make sure here the pipe's in and underneath a lot, but we wouldn't need to come here and up and in this area at all. We just want to come in, maybe make sure we kind of give it a wrap, maybe come over, make sure we wrap the bottom again, come back through, maybe wrap it one more time, and then come back again and go on with our heat tape. Making sure, sure that we have some heat tape on the bottom of this meter. And that's really all there is to these meters.